Okay, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're watching this video from. Here's another weekly analysis, and today is the 10th of March 2020, and it's about 9, just after 9 a.m. here in Nigeria. So now we're looking at a couple of instruments, Euro USD as an example. Looking at the Euro USD over time, over a few weeks now, the market has been on the bullish trend. But even looking at it based on us looking at buying opportunities, if you look very well, we have some untested areas here. These areas here, they are untested as support, right? Now, this area has been tested as support, as you can see here. Now it's acting as support. But based on the order flow, where we have a whole lot of untested areas here, I still would like to see the market push lower, right? For Euro USD as an example. So for Euro USD, I would like to see where the market is here, struggling with this area of supply. I'd like to see the market push lower, either to this point or to this point here, right? Well, only time will tell. Today is a Tuesday, obviously, 10th of March, and only time will tell. It's about having a directional bias and then looking for an entry to that area, and this is what we have over here. And then this is for Euro USD. And then obviously for USD Swiss, it's obviously most times in the opposite direction to the Euro USD, as you can look at them as maybe cousins or brothers or anyhow you want to put it. Now, looking at USD CHF, this is the exact opposite of what we just talked about now for Euro USD, where the trend here is a downtrend. But once again, we have some areas here that we're expecting to act as resistance, which haven't been tested. This has been tested. This has also been tested as resistance, as you can see here, right? But we're expecting uh, this area here to, for the market to get to this area here or this area here. So what we're looking at for now is for the market where it is at this area of demand to push higher here or even higher here, or to push lower to this area, to this other area of demand, and then we look for longs to push higher. Now, don't forget, you must always have directional bias and then look for entries prior to that area. And then this is what we have here. So now GU also pound USD, also known as the cable, is also what we are looking out for over here, where we're expecting that this market should obviously, similar to the other ones that we just talked about now, we have some untested areas here. So simple, most people will be looking forward to buying, where it is probably people are still buying here to push higher. But I'm of the opinion that based on my own directional bias, I'm looking for the market to push lower or even to push lower up to this point here. Or to push lower to this point here where we have an area of untested support. So either to this area here or to this other area here. We're looking forward to the market pushing lower. And then finally, looking at gold, we're expecting gold to push higher, right? From where gold is here, expecting it to push higher to this area of supply, and then we should get a drop here. And last week, we saw gold push, tremendously. I believe this was over 1,000 pips, if I'm not mistaken. If I take the cross here now, we should be able to do a measurement and see that this, yeah, exactly, this did over 1,300 pips from last week. So I'm looking forward to a retracement at least up to this area 1622 for a final take profit. But obviously, I would like to see this market push higher to this supply here, right? This should probably be around the 1800 area, 1680 area, and then push down here to give us a few hundred of pips. So this is just the market view for this week thus far. If any changes in what we have here, Euro USD, the dollar Swiss cable, or the gold, I will definitely update this and we'll see how it goes. Right. So let's see how the market treats us this week. many pips to us, and then catch you on the other side. Thank you. Okay, so this is still the same day, 10th of March 2020, and just thought to update this to show you what's going on now. As you can see, the area of interest seems to be holding for shots, and you can see that this area seems to be getting tested as well. And well, it's still struggling with that area, but I'm expecting it to break well enough at least to this untested area here, maybe react to it and then drop further down. I'll be looking forward to taking my take profit at this areas here of interest, right? Obviously, you will be able to determine your take profit and the stop loss levels by the time you are constant with looking for what you, or rather saying what you want to see. I don't know whether that English is going down well, but this is what I have over here, as you can see. So now it's still struggling there. Let's see how this plays out. And we talked about this not too long ago, earlier today. And also, we talked about the dollar Swizzy. So let me switch to that. I haven't been able to get an entry here on the dollar Swizzy, as it seems to be respecting the level, as you can see, but they didn't give me an entry. They didn't give me the kind of entry that I was looking for off this area of demand, right? And you can see that it's struggling here. And overall, if you look very well, this here is looking like a sideways market here, but obviously there should be a breakout shortly, and I'm expecting to break out higher to this area of untested and probably to this area of untested higher. But no entry on this, as you can see. And then on the pound US that we talked about earlier, I got my entry here and it's doing very well. This is over 100 pips now on the cable, which is the GBP USD. We're watching this area. If you remember, we said fine, quite all right. The trend is an uptrend, but we're looking forward to selling, right? Because we have untested areas. You can see that it has gotten to this untested area. Our entry was based on this when it came out to retest this area of supply. Has gotten to this untested, and then it broke out nicely with this candle. Probably we see it react this way, come up to test this other side and act as a flip zone, right? And then push lower to other untested areas. And then I'm looking for a home run here, and I'm just going to be adjusting my stop loss gradually as it moves in my favor. So I'm also watching this one, but rather than watching this for entry, which I've gotten an entry here, a good entry. Now I'm watching this for management, where I'll just be adjusting if I need to adjust and close out if I don't like it anymore. I adjust and move my stop loss to a place that is favorable to me, and so on. Right, so that's what we have over here. And then I believe we talked about gold, but gold here, I haven't been able to get an entry, unfortunately. It's not every analysis you make that you get your entry in. I was waiting for the market to pull here, but it didn't get here, so I can get my entry and push lower. But nothing yet on this. Who knows? I might still be able to get here. But even looking at this, it seems to be having a fresh area here, right? From what is developing. That means that I might be looking forward to this area here and then dumping it here. This is what I'll do. I'll put up another this just to mark it. Let's put the double marking there so that when we clean this our drawings off, we will still be able to see everything. So I'm trying to see whether I can get a new entry here and then dump it, hopefully. Let's see how that goes on this. And then also on the dollar yen to looking forward to buying off this area here, of this area here of demand, and then pushing to this untested. So it's about seeing the untested areas and then see where you're going to enter to get your trade and then to punch it higher. And obviously, you know your stop loss should be lower here. By the time you look at this is obviously good risk to reward ratio. It should be about 1 to, I think about 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 thereabout, which is good. And you know, if you can get a tighter entry, that would also be good. So these are just a few of the instruments watching today, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay, good day to you. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are watching this video from. Today is the 11th of March 2020, and this is about 4:30 p.m. here, Nigerian time. And it's just a quick update on, our watch list for the week, right? So this is our review on what's happening in the market. We talked about the Euro USD, we got our position when it retraced back to this area of supply. And you remember we said based on what we have, your tested levels here, or tested support, expecting the market to get it. And well, so far so good. It's on its way there, as you can see. Where it is now is in no man's land. So most definitely we should see a high probability that we should see this area over here shortly. And then we see whether we can get to this point here. I have a take profit here, a hard take profit here at these areas here of demand, right? And let's see how it goes. I'll do another update probably later today or tomorrow to show how it goes, right? And then we'll look at the remaining instruments that we're talking about also. This is Euro USD. And most times, whenever Euro USD is going down, USD chart is going up. But unfortunately, like we said yesterday, we were not able to get entries here. I didn't get a clear PA, and you can see that we've been having bounces on all these our levels, but I still don't, I still didn't get a clear entry. So we should have this area hit first of all, and maybe this area. Whenever you enter the market, you must also know where to exit the market, right? So analysis is key based on fundamentals and based on your technicals as well. Pound USD, more or less the best trade for now. It has given us, I think, over a 150 pips, I think close to 200 pips now. For my entry here on the retracement to this. Before all this happened, we looked at the market as, oh, okay, this is an uptrend, then we should be looking forward to buy. But even in an uptrend, the market should drop. And based on your analysis, based on your screen time, you should be able to see that, okay, it's time for the market to start to reverse. And you can see that today we had uh, uh, news that came out on pounds earlier this morning. Even before the news came out, we had the massive drop, right? As you can see here, we had massive drop. And one good thing about when you are, looking at the market is that you always observe that the market tends to react to certain areas. You can see that when the market got to this area here, I say that this area was our former resistance, and as it broke out of this area here, came back to test it now as resistance, right? Sorry, this was resistance turned support, and then it broke out here and came back to test it as resistance, and you can see it's dropping. So now we're well on our way to hitting this area here, right? And then hopefully this area here. Another key thing that we should also be taking note of is the daily time frame. Let's switch to the daily time frame so that you see what we're talking about. Looking at the daily time frame over here, once you look at this candle that we have here, this was the candle that started the day. This is Monday's candle where we had a kind of spinning top stroke pin bar. Well, you can call it a pin bar kind of, but I've loved the wick here, the tail here to be a bit shorter. We can still call it a candle more or less. And then after that, we had a very big down day yesterday, right? And then after that, this is what we're having here. So if it ends like this, most likely Thursday could even go up a bit, hit this area and drop, or Thursday could even give us a further drop. But we have to see how this daily candle closes. Sorry, since I'm making a bit of a mess now, let me remove this. This daily candle in question, you have to wait and see how it closes, and that could also give us heads up as to what's going to happen in the market next, right? And then also gold. We got an entry on gold. On another account, I actually got two positions here on gold. And we see yesterday when we talked about gold, it didn't give us an entry, but being patient and waiting for the areas that we're expecting to get our position in, the market came back to this area, as you can see, our supply, and then we should have hopefully a fall to this area, and let's see that it can drop further down. You just have to know your areas of interest. You have to know about your support and resistance and also supply and demand as well. Supply and demand is looked at differently from support and resistance. I hope I said that right. Let me say that again. Supply and demand is looked at differently from the support and resistance. Once you understand this, to give you a very clean and good explanation or observation or whatever English you want to use. Sorry, it seems that English tends to fail me at times. Of what the market wants to do, you get your entry and then what the market is. Either it works or it doesn't work. Simple. And then the dollar yen, we got our entry here. You can see we're still on and we're still hanging on. I take profit here. Let's see what happens. So these are just the instruments that we are in. Don't forget, it's always good to look at the daily time frame as well as a good heads up that helps us to see what's happening in the market. And then it gives us a good heads up as to what hopefully should happen next. Now, with what we have based on this candle for today on gold, I can easily bring my stop loss to break even and look at it as a free trade and see whether we can push lower to these key areas here. You can see we have a key area here, and then the take profit is just above. From here to here, it give us about 600 pips on gold. We all know gold has been moving. Last week it did about 1,300 pips. Today we're just looking for 600. We're not being greedy. Just get something and get out and look for something again the next week, and then we keep on doing the same thing over and over every week. It's about rinsing and repeating of this our trading basically. So this is what we have for you. I'll update this again, and hopefully no surprises, hopefully no whipsaws, no breaking news whatsoever. Hopefully our take profits get hit and we end the week in the green, right, in positive. So thank you. I'll update this again once again. My English. I'll update this again shortly, and then we'll see how it goes. Thank you. Don't forget, if you have questions, you can always reach out to us, and then we'll see how we can assist you further. Thank you. Hello guys, how are you doing today? 13th of March 2020, and the time is about 3 p.m. Friday, and this will be the final update for this week. And as you can see, the trades have done what we expected them to do. For Euro USD, we had our take profit hit, right? Entry was here, right? We've explained this earlier, and the take profit here. And now what we have for Euro USD, the dollar Swissy, it got to our area of take profit, but it didn't give us our entry. If you look very well, it has gotten to our area of take profit here, right, based on this, but it didn't give us entries here. It got there, acted accordingly, but didn't give us entry, but it's not a problem, right? So we look forward to another week. Hopefully we get dollar Swissy. The cable, we got our entry here, take profit here, and then it dropped further down. It's not a problem as long as you make something. Right, so gold was a very good one. We had over 600 pips over here, and dollar yen, the final trade from here, just took a profit here. It's a Friday, the end of the week, and that's all we have. Have any questions, feel free to ask. My name remains Solu. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.